My name is James Carter. I'm an astronomer. I've spent 32 years studying the sky, mapping asteroids, calculating orbits, looking for threats. I found one. It's October 9th, 2028, 11:47 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm at the Painted Desert Observatory in northern Arizona. It's a small facility, private, just me and my equipment. I've been here for 15 years. Tonight started like any other night. Clear skies, no moon, perfect conditions for observation. I was doing a routine survey of the asteroid belt, looking for near-Earth objects. NEOS, we call them that. Objects whose orbits bring them close to Earth. Most are harmless. They pass by at safe distances. We track them. We catalog them. We move on. But at 11:34 p.m. I found something that wasn't in any catalog. It appeared on my screen as a faint point of light. Moving. Most stars don't move, not noticeably. Planets move slowly. But this was moving fast. Too fast. I tracked it for 3 minutes, took multiple images, calculated its position against the background stars. Then I ran the preliminary orbit calculation. My hands stopped working. I had to run it again, check my math, verify the input data. Same result. The object was on a collision course with Earth. I know what you're thinking. We hear about near misses all the time. Asteroids that come close but pass by safely. The media loves these stories. City killer asteroid to pass Earth at safe distance. This wasn't a near miss. This was a direct hit. I spent the next hour taking more observations, building a more accurate orbital model, refining the trajectory, hoping I'd made a mistake, hoping the numbers would change. They didn't change. The asteroid, I'm calling it 2028 TC-7 for now, is approximately 8.2 kilometers in diameter. That's 5 miles. Roughly the same size as the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Its current velocity relative to Earth is 28 kilometers per second. That's over 62,000 miles per hour. Impact probability, 99.97%. Time to impact, 73 hours. 3 days. I'm sitting here in my observation room, looking at these numbers on my screen, and I can't process them. My brain refuses to accept what the mathematics are telling me. In 3 days, an extinction-level asteroid will strike Earth. And until 30 minutes ago, nobody knew it existed. How is that possible? How does something this large, this dangerous, go undetected until 3 days before impact? The answer is orbital mechanics. The asteroid's trajectory brought it from behind the sun. From our perspective on Earth, it was hidden in the solar glare, invisible. We couldn't see it because we were looking through the sun. It's like a car approaching from directly behind a bright streetlight. You don't see it until it's almost on top of you. That's what happened here. 2028 TC-7 has been approaching for months, maybe years, hidden in the sun's glare. Only now, 3 days from impact, has it emerged far enough from the sun for ground-based telescopes to detect it. 3 days. 73 hours. I need to report this. I need to contact NASA, the International Asteroid Warning Network, someone with authority, someone who can verify my findings and alert the world. But it's almost midnight. Who do I call at midnight with news that the world is ending? I'm looking at my phone. My hands are shaking. I've made important calls before. Discovered asteroids, reported near-Earth objects. But nothing like this. Nothing that matters like this. I take a breath. I dial the emergency line for the Center for Near-Earth Object Studies at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. It's a 24-hour line. Someone will answer. They always answer. The phone rings 4 times. Then a voice. Professional. Alert despite the late hour. I identify myself. Give my credentials. My observatory designation. Then I tell them what I found. There's a long pause. Then questions. Rapid fire. Professional. They want my data, my observations, my calculations. I send everything. Upload it to their secure server. Every image, every measurement, every calculation. They tell me to stay on the line. They're running their own analysis. Verifying. I wait. 15 minutes pass. The longest 15 minutes of my life. Then the voice comes back. Different tone now. Quieter. More careful. They've confirmed it. Their models match mine. 2028 TC7 is real. The trajectory is accurate. The impact probability is 99.97%. 3 days. The voice tells me to stand by for further instructions. Tells me not to discuss this with anyone. National security. Public safety. Standard protocol for potentially catastrophic events. Then they disconnect. I sit in the darkness of my observation room, surrounded by equipment that has been my life's work, and I understand something. The world is going to end in 3 days, and I'm one of the first people to know. What do you do with that information? How do you process the fact that everything, everyone, every plan and dream and hope has exactly 72 hours left? I should feel something. Terror, panic, despair. But all I feel is numb. I look out the window of my observatory. The sky is impossibly clear. Stars everywhere. The Milky Way a river of light across the darkness. Somewhere up there, invisible to my eyes, but visible to my instruments, is 2028 TC7. A mountain of rock and metal traveling at 62,000 miles per hour, aimed directly at us. In 3 days, it will hit the atmosphere. The kinetic energy of the impact will be equivalent to 10 billion Hiroshima bombs. The explosion will vaporize everything within 1,000 miles of the impact site. The shock wave will circle the globe. Tsunamis will destroy every coastline. The debris thrown into the atmosphere will block out the sun for years. Mass extinction. The end of human civilization. Possibly the end of complex life on Earth. And there's nothing we can do about it. 3 days isn't enough time to evacuate. Isn't enough time to mount a deflection mission. Isn't enough time to do anything except wait. I'm still sitting here, still staring at the screen. The asteroid is still there, a small point of light moving against the stars, moving toward us. My phone rings. It's JPL calling back. They have instructions for me. I'm to continue observations, document the asteroid's approach, refine the impact prediction. But I'm not to share this information with anyone outside official channels. They're convening an emergency meeting of international space agencies. Heads of state will be informed. Decisions will be made about how to handle this. Handle this. As if there's a protocol for the end of the world. They tell me someone from NASA will contact me within the hour. Until then, maintain silence. This is critical. Public panic could cause more deaths than the asteroid itself. I understand the logic, I do. If people know they have 3 days to live, Society will collapse immediately. Riots, violence, chaos. But is that worse than not knowing? Is it better to die in ignorance? I don't know the answer. The call ends. I'm alone again. It's 1:23 a.m. now, October 10th, 71 hours to impact. I should sleep, should rest. But how do you sleep knowing what I know? Instead, I keep watching, keep tracking, keep calculating. The asteroid moves across my field of view, steady, inevitable, perfect in its mathematics. Mathematics don't lie. Numbers don't care about hope or fear. They just are. And the numbers say we have 3 days left. It's 3:47 a.m. I haven't slept. I've been running calculations over and over. Different models, different assumptions, different impact scenarios. They all end the same way. Let me explain what's going to happen. Not in abstract terms, not in scientific jargon, in simple, clear language that anyone can understand. 2028 TC7 will strike Earth in approximately 69 hours. Based on current trajectory, the most likely impact zone is the Pacific Ocean, roughly 800 miles west of Peru. The asteroid is traveling at 28 kilometers per second. When it hits the atmosphere, friction will heat the surface to over 10,000 degrees Celsius. But it won't slow down much. The atmosphere is too thin to stop something this massive moving this fast. It will punch through the air like it isn't even there. Impact will occur in the ocean at a depth of approximately 4,000 meters. The asteroid will vaporize millions of tons of water instantly. The explosion will create a crater on the ocean floor 100 kilometers wide and 30 kilometers deep. The energy released will be equivalent to 10 billion tons of TNT. Every nuclear weapon ever built, detonated simultaneously, wouldn't equal 1% of this impact. The fireball will be visible from space. A hemisphere of plasma expanding at supersonic speeds. Everything within 1,000 kilometers will be incinerated instantly. Peru, Ecuador, parts of Colombia and Brazil, gone in seconds. But that's just the beginning. The impact will generate a tsunami unlike anything in human history. Waves over 300 meters tall will radiate outward in all directions. They'll cross the Pacific in hours. Hawaii will be submerged. The entire west coast of North and South America will be wiped clean. Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, Australia. All of them will face walls of water taller than skyscrapers. Coastal cities where billions of people live will simply cease to exist. The shockwave will travel through the Earth's crust. Earthquakes measuring 11 on the Richter scale will strike every continent. Every fault line will rupture. Every volcano will activate. The ring of fire will become literal. But even that isn't the worst part. The worst part is what comes after. The impact will eject trillions of tons of material into the atmosphere. Rock, water vapor, vaporized ocean, all of it thrown into the stratosphere at escape velocity. Some of it will reach space. Most will fall back. As it falls back, it will heat up from friction. Millions of meteors, billions of them. The entire sky will glow red. The temperature at ground level will rise to over 400 degrees Celsius. Hot enough to ignite forests. Hot enough to boil water. Hot enough to kill anything not underground. This phase will last for hours. The whole planet will become an oven. And then comes the darkness. The debris that doesn't fall immediately will stay in the atmosphere, blocking the sun, blocking all sunlight. The temperature will plummet. Photosynthesis will stop. Plants will die. Then the herbivores. Then the carnivores. The entire food chain will collapse. This is called an impact winter. It will last for years, maybe decades. 99% of all species will go extinct, including humans. I'm looking at these calculations on my screen, and I'm trying to comprehend the scale of it. Trying to imagine 8 billion people, 8 billion lives, 8 billion stories, all ending in 70 hours. I've spent my career studying impacts. I've read the papers. I've seen the models. I know the statistics. Extinction-level impacts happen on average every 100 million years. We're just unlucky enough to be alive during one of them. The phone rings again. It's 4:15 a.m. NASA. They want an updated impact prediction. I send them my latest calculations. They confirm the Pacific impact zone. They're working on evacuation scenarios for coastal areas. Evacuation scenarios. As if you can evacuate half the planet in 3 days. They ask if there's any possibility of deflection. Any chance we could alter the asteroid's course. I run the numbers. To deflect an asteroid this size traveling this fast would require a nuclear device detonated precisely on the surface, at exactly the right angle, with at least 2 weeks of advance warning. We have 3 days. We have no spacecraft in position. We have no way to deliver a weapon, even if we wanted to. The answer is no, there's no possibility of deflection. The voice on the other end is quiet for a long moment. Then they thank me for my work. Tell me to continue monitoring. The line goes dead. I'm alone again with my calculations. The sun is starting to rise outside. October 10th. A beautiful autumn morning in Arizona. The sky is turning pink and orange. Birds are singing. The world is waking up to another normal day. They don't know. None of them know. The people driving to work. The children going to school. The parents making breakfast. They're living their lives, making plans, worrying about ordinary things. They have 68 hours left, and they don't know. Should they know? Do they have a right to know? I keep coming back to this question. Governments will say no. They'll say the panic would be worse than the impact itself. They'll say people need to be protected from information they can't handle. But I'm not sure I agree. These are the last days of human civilization. Don't people deserve to know? Don't they deserve a chance to say goodbye? To spend their final hours with the people they love? Or is ignorance a mercy? I don't have the answer. I'm just an astronomer. I study rocks in space. I'm not qualified to make decisions about humanity's last days, but I know the mathematics. And the mathematics say that in 68 hours, it won't matter what anyone decided. The asteroid doesn't care about our debates. It doesn't care about our politics, or our ethics, or our fears. It's just coming, and we can't stop it. It's 9:22 a.m. now, October 10th, 63 hours to impact. I've received 14 calls in the past 5 hours. NASA, European Space Agency, the Russian Space Agency Roscosmos, Japan's JAXA, China National Space Administration. Every major space agency on Earth has contacted me, requested my data, run their own confirmations. They all reached the same conclusion. The asteroid is real. The trajectory is accurate. Impact is inevitable. Around 7 a.m., I received an email from the Minor Planet Center in Massachusetts. They've officially designated the object. It's no longer 2028 TC7. It has a proper name now. They're calling it 2028 TE1. The first terrestrial extinction event of 2028. Someone has a dark sense of humor. The email also contained a directive. All information regarding 2028 TE1 is now classified at the highest level. I am not to share observations, data, or calculations with anyone outside authorized channels. Violation of this directive will result in immediate arrest and prosecution under national security laws. They're serious. They're going to keep this secret as long as possible. I've been monitoring news channels on my computer. CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera. Nothing. Not a word about the asteroid. The news is normal. Politics, sports, weather, a celebrity scandal. Someone won an award for something. The world has no idea. But governments know. At 8:15 a.m., I picked up an unusual amount of encrypted satellite traffic on my radio equipment. Military frequencies, diplomatic channels, emergency protocols being activated worldwide. Something is happening behind the scenes. Heads of state are being briefed. Emergency meetings are being convened. Plans are being made. But what plans can you make for the end of the world? At 8:47 a.m., I received a call from someone who identified themselves only as a representative from the Department of Defense. They informed me that my observatory is now under federal jurisdiction. A security team will arrive within 6 hours to secure the facility and ensure compliance with information protocols. They're sending people to watch me, to make sure I don't talk. I asked what the official plan was, what they were going to tell the public. When? There was a pause. Then I was told that decisions regarding public notification are being made at the highest levels of government. Multiple nations are coordinating their response. An announcement will be made at the appropriate time. Appropriate time. What does that even mean? When is it appropriate to tell 8 billion people they're going to die? The call ended before I could ask more questions. I've been thinking about this, about why they want to keep it secret. The official reason is preventing panic. If people know they have 3 days to live, society will collapse. There will be riots, looting, violence, chaos. And they're probably right. How many people would go to work knowing the world ends tomorrow? How many would stay calm? How many would turn violent? But there's another reason too. Control. As long as the information is restricted, governments maintain control. They can manage evacuations in coastal areas without explaining why. They can move military assets without causing alarm. They can protect their own people, their own interests, before the general population knows what's happening. It's logical. It's practical. It's probably the smart decision from a strategic standpoint. But it's also a lie. A lie told to billions of people who will die without ever knowing why. At 9:03 a.m., I received confirmation from 3 separate observatories. One in Chile, one in South Africa, one in Australia. They've all independently detected and tracked 2028 TE1. Their calculations match mine exactly. 63 hours to impact. Pacific Ocean. Extinction level event. There's no doubt anymore. No possibility of error. This is real and it's happening and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. I walked outside for the first time since last night. The morning air is cool and clean. The desert stretches out in every direction. Red rocks, blue sky, absolutely beautiful. In 63 hours, this desert will be scorched by heat that will melt rock. The sky will turn black. The temperature will drop below freezing and stay there for years. Everything I'm looking at will be dead. I went back inside, made coffee. My hands were shaking so badly I spilled it twice. This is real. This is actually happening. In less than 3 days, human civilization ends. Everything we've built, everything we've learned, everything we've created, article, music, literature, science, all of it gone. 8 billion lives, 8 billion unique perspectives, 8 billion chances to love, to create, to matter, all ending together. My phone shows dozens of missed calls from other astronomers, colleagues who've heard rumors, friends who want confirmation. They know something is happening. The international astronomy community is small. Word spreads fast. But I can't call them back. I can't confirm anything. I'm under orders, federal jurisdiction, national security. So I sit here in my observatory, surrounded by a lifetime of work, and I say nothing. At 9:47 a.m., I checked the encrypted channels again. More activity. A different pattern now. Less coordination. More urgency. Something has changed. Then I understood. They're not planning to announce it. They're going to keep it secret until it's too late to matter. They'll evacuate who they can under false pretenses. They'll protect essential personnel, and everyone else will just die not knowing. 62 hours left, and the world still doesn't know. They arrived at 2:34 p.m. 2 black SUVs, 6 men in dark suits, federal agents. They showed me identification. Homeland Security. They were polite but firm. My observatory is now a secured federal facility. All communications are monitored. All data transmission must be approved. I am not to leave the premises. I am not to contact anyone outside authorized channels. For my own safety, they said. For national security. One of them set up equipment in my control room. Monitoring software on my computer. Signal jammers around the perimeter. They've cut my internet connection. My phone only works for incoming calls from approved numbers. I'm effectively under house arrest. They positioned themselves throughout the building. One at the entrance, one in the control room with me. The others rotating shifts. Watching. Always watching. I asked them if they knew what was coming, if they'd been briefed. The agent in the control room with me, a man in his 30s with tired eyes, just looked at me for a long moment. Then he nodded once. He knows. They all know. They were told enough to understand why they're here, why this matters. I wonder if they have families, if they've made arrangements, if they've said goodbye. I didn't ask. Some questions are too cruel. It's 6:18 p.m. now, 57 hours to impact. I've been monitoring the asteroid's approach. It's visible now to larger amateur telescopes. In another 12 hours, it will be visible to the naked eye. A new star in the sky, growing brighter each hour. People will notice. They'll post about it online. They'll ask questions, and governments will have to decide how to respond. I've been watching television. The news is still normal, still talking about normal things. But there's something underneath. Attention. The anchors seem distracted. Stories are being cut short. Programming is being interrupted for updates that don't come. They know something is wrong. They just don't know what. At 4:52 p.m. there was a breaking news alert. The president will address the nation at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. No details given. Just that it's a matter of national importance. The other agents in the room all checked their phones simultaneously, received messages. Their expressions didn't change, but their posture did. They became more alert, more tense. Something is about to happen. I've been thinking about my life. 32 years studying the sky, looking for threats, and I found one. The biggest threat humanity has ever faced. And now I'm sitting here, silenced, while the world continues in ignorance. I never married, never had children. My work was my life. The stars were my companions. I thought I had time, thought I'd eventually slow down, find someone, build something beyond my research. Now there is no time. There never was. The things I planned to do, places I wanted to visit, books I wanted to read, conversations I wanted to have. All of it meaningless now. We assume we have tomorrow. We always assume we have tomorrow. We don't. At 7:15 p.m. I went outside. The agent followed me at a distance, watching, making sure I didn't run, didn't try to communicate with anyone. The sun was setting. The sky was turning orange and purple. Beautiful. Peaceful. And there, just becoming visible in the eastern sky, was a point of light that shouldn't be there. Brighter than any star. Not twinkling like stars do. Just steady. Constant 2028 TE1. The asteroid. Visible now to anyone who knows where to look. In 56 hours, that point of light will fill the sky. Will become a second sun. Will become the last thing millions of people see before the end. I stood there for 20 minutes, watching it. The agent stood nearby, also watching. Neither of us spoke. What was there to say? When I came back inside, the television was showing the presidential seal, waiting for the address. News anchors speculating about what would be announced. Economic policy, military action, political scandal. None of them guessed the truth. How could they? The truth was unthinkable. At exactly 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. my time, the president appeared on screen. I watched the address, listened to every word, the careful phrasing, the measured tone, the reassurances. A celestial object has been detected. Scientists are monitoring it. There is no immediate threat. Coastal evacuations are precautionary measures only. The government has everything under control. Lies. All of it lies. They didn't say asteroid, didn't say extinction, didn't say 3 days. They gave people just enough information to explain the evacuations without causing panic. Coastal areas were being evacuated due to a potential natural disaster. Tidal concerns, seismic activity, nothing to worry about, but better safe than sorry. The president's face was calm, professional, but I could see it in the eyes. The knowledge, the weight. This was a person who knew the truth, who knew that in 55 hours, their presidency would end. The nation would end. Everything would end. And they stood there and lied to 8 billion people. After the address, the news channels erupted. Analysis, expert opinions, speculation. Some were skeptical, some were alarmed, but none of them knew the truth. I sat there watching, and I felt something I hadn't felt before. Anger. These people, all of them, deserved to know, deserved to make their own choices about their last hours, deserved to say goodbye to the people they loved. And their governments had decided they couldn't handle the truth, had decided to lie, had decided to let them die in ignorance. The agent in the room with me was also watching. His jaw was tight, his hands were clenched. He didn't like it either. This lying, this silence. But he had his orders. We all had our orders. At 9:47 p.m., my computer pinged an email from an address I didn't recognize. It got through somehow despite the monitoring. The message was short, just 2 sentences. We know what you know. Tell them the truth. I stared at the screen. Someone else knew. Someone outside the official channels. Someone who wanted the truth to come out. I looked at the agent. He was watching his phone. Hadn't noticed the email yet. I had maybe 30 seconds before the monitoring software flagged it. 30 seconds to decide. Do I delete it and stay silent? Do I follow orders and let the lie continue? Or do I do something? The agent looked up, saw me staring at my screen, started to move toward me. I made my decision. It's 10:03 p.m., October 10th, 54 hours to impact, and I'm done being silent.